Today's grocery haul is just a little bit different from my regular grocery hauls because it is the weekend before Thanksgiving. We have some company coming into town, and I thought that I would share with you some things that I have learned about how to shop, meal plan, and organize my kitchen for holidays, for vacations, for hosting. And these might even be tips that would be useful if you are going to another place that's going to be doing the hosting, right? And even though it's after Thanksgiving, when you're seeing this, I thought there's another big holiday on the horizon, right? So maybe some of these ideas would be useful even now. Tip number one, as you are preparing for a big holiday grocery haul, and something that I do pretty much on the regular, you've heard me talk about this ad nauseum probably, and that is make room. Clean out the fridge, clean out the pantry. My family and I spent the first few days of this week just kind of eating up leftovers, making meals from the things that we had on hand, using up produce, using up lunch packing items, eating up those last few chips or crackers in the open packages of snacks in the pantry. It's also an opportunity for me to take a look and see if there's anything that needs to be thrown out, maybe something that's spoiled in the refrigerator, and also give everything a little bit of a clean out or wipe down. It doesn't mean I have to do a big deep clean. It just allows me to create space for some of the extra food and extra special things and extra leftovers that are going to be going in the refrigerator over the next week or so while we are celebrating and hosting. And if you need ideas or inspiration for this concept, I have an entire playlist full of use it up challenges, recipes where I have made use of the things that I have on hand in the kitchen in an effort to delay going to the grocery store. This is a big thing for me. So if you need inspiration or ideas, check out that playlist. I'll leave it linked in the description box below. Tip number two, grocery pickup or even delivery is my friend, and I absolutely use it all the time in the busy seasons, especially when I'm placing a larger than normal order for hosting, entertaining for a holiday. First of all, it's super helpful, at least for me, with planning, because I can have my recipes out, my recipe books out, I can have my computer open, I can put everything into my cart from the comfort of my own home, and I can even do that over the course of several sessions, a few hours across the day or even a few days across the week if I get an early start on it. And I am a person who does like to grocery shop. I love going into grocery stores and seeing what's new. I like visiting multiple stores. But when it comes to holidays, hosting, entertaining, or just super busy seasons for our family, that is something that is less of a priority for me than just getting the things that I need and having time to organize it and having a plan, especially for food and for meals going into those busy times. Just restocking some meat and dairy items, stuff for sandwiches, some cheese, our favorite yogurt, the Dan & Lightenfit apple cream pie, and then also some black cherry yogurt, sour cream. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and stop and get these things into the refrigerator so that they can stay nice and cold. When it is a holiday or I am hosting or it's a vacation or we have an Airbnb somewhere, I usually plan to cook one time a day. I am not cooking or doing a bunch of major prep work, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because it's my holiday and it's my vacation too, right? And I want to be able to spend time with my family. I want to be able to play games. I want to be able to do all those fun things that we do during those times. So usually it's dinner. I plan the dinners out and I know, exactly what I'm going to be making, just like other weeks, but I don't plan to cook extra special meals all day long. So if I plan to cook a big breakfast, pancakes and sausage and eggs or big breakfast burritos or something like that, then I'm probably not cooking lunch or dinner. We'll have a much simpler lunch or dinner, like sandwiches or soups or leftovers. I did not get as much produce as I normally would because we still have a little bit in our fridge, especially fruit. We have lots of apples and oranges. I did pick up some carrots and sugar snap peas. Those are mainly for like crudité, and also some salad greens, plus feta cheese and a vinaigrette. This is a favorite of somebody who's coming to stay with us, so I picked that up. Limes and lemons and bananas, and then I also have some broccoli because McKenna's birthday is today, and she has requested broccoli cheddar potato soup for dinner. That is what the bacon is for as well. I have no idea where she came up with broccoli cheddar potato soup. I've made potato soup. I've made broccoli cheddar soup. I'm not sure I've ever made broccoli cheddar potato soup, but I did find a recipe. We're gonna give it a go. Gonna have some toast or some bread bowls or something with it. Her grandmother is making her a cookie cake, so we're gonna have a nice little birthday celebration for her. One of the things that really helps me to cook just one meal a day is to shop and organize my kitchen in such a way that people people can fend for themselves for the other meals. Last Thanksgiving, we did host my husband's brother's family, so we had quite a few people in the household, and I set up a continental breakfast bar. I got lots of individually packaged breakfast items like little pastries, granola bars, donuts, and I also put out some fruit like apples and oranges that don't need to be refrigerated or prepped in any way. I arranged everything in a basket and I set it by the coffee makers before I went to bed each night. That way everybody can get up and have their cup of coffee or their cup of tea. They can just help themselves to their own breakfast, and I don't even have to be awake to make that happen. We are not entertaining as many people as last year, so I didn't pick up as many grab and go breakfast items, but I did get some of these Nature's Bakery Fig Bar Minis. There are 20 little mini packages in here. Our favorite Nature's Bakery are the strawberry or the apple oatmeal crumble bars, I think is what they're called. They did not have those, so I got these instead. And then a favorite of the kids, the peanut butter Nature Valley Crunchy bars, and then one of our favorite cereals, Crunchy Honey Oats. Those things, along with yogurt and fruit, are going to be plenty for just some easy breakfasts this week. My kids have really been into these mozzarella sticks from Farm Ridge because they can cook up in the air fryer in about like 6 minutes, so they can make those up themselves. So I picked up another box of those. They also say that this kind of Cheez-It, the Grooves, this is the cheddar ranch and then the white cheddar. They say that these are absolutely the best of all the different kinds of Cheez-Its, all the different flavors, all the different sizes. They're a little bit pricey, but there was a Walmart cashback offer when I was ordering them online, so it brought the price down a little bit, so I picked those up as a kind of a treat snack for them over the break. I have been obsessed with peanuts in the shell, salted and roasted in-shell peanuts. I mentioned these in a Walmart Faves video recently. It's like less than $2 for a 1 pound bag. Actually, it's 20 ounces. It's over 1 pound. And I like to eat these on the patio. We sit on our patio a lot. We have a TV out there. We watch sports. We'll get a fire going and just kind of hang out. So I love to eat these, especially if I'm, drinking a beer or sipping on a glass of wine. Such a cheap snack and so delicious. Another little meal planning tip when hosting a crowd is to consider meals that you can serve buffet or bar style. These are meals where people can have a few different options and they can prepare their meal according to their personal preferences. So maybe it's a pasta bar. I've done a taco bar before. I've done a breakfast bar before. It allows people who are picky eaters to be able to pick and choose the things that they want, and the people who are not so picky eaters to have lots of different choices. Since I was buying potatoes for McKenna's birthday soup dinner, I decided to get the baking potatoes, the big potatoes instead of the bag of small potatoes, because one night I'm going to do a baked potato bar. That's also why I picked up this can of chili. And then we have cheese and sour cream. We have queso. We're going to use some of the bacon as well, and so we'll be able to have baked potatoes and either salad or veggies one night for a super easy meal for a crowd. This stuff right here is all for charcuterie. We've got some crackers, we've got some summer sausage, one of my favorite cheeses, the Kerrygold Dubliner. McKenna loves this Boursin garlic and fine herbs. It's like a soft cheese that you spread. Brand name cheddar, woohoo! And then some honey roasted almonds. And this spinach artichoke dip right here in the Walmart brand, the Market Side brand. I find this in the deli section. Sometimes it's where they have the pizzas and the cold rotisserie chickens and things like that. This is so, so good. My husband asked if I would pick this up. We put it into another container and heat it up in the microwave. Don't try to heat it up in the plastic container. We learned that one the hard way. It will melt. But it is really good hot or cold, but we prefer it hot, especially with some of these pita chips right here from Townhouse. I wish I could link my charcuterie board for you, but it's an original. My dad made that for me for Christmas last year. He does a lot of things with woodworking now that he's retired, and so I have this beautiful charcuterie board, and I try to get it out as much as possible, especially when I have company visiting, even if it's just to put like vegetables or chips and dip or something on. It's just a way to make things seem a little bit extra special. So we're gonna do some charcuterie boards this week as well. I also think it's okay, especially when you're hosting family for multiple days, to ask for a little help. When my husband's family takes trips, there are 3 children and then plus the grandparents. So there's 3 families basically, and we will often pick a day to provide the food. So instead of splitting up each individual meal and saying, well, you provide the meat and you provide the bread and you provide the side dishes, we just take one day all together. Another thing we have done before is to provide the kid food. If you have a lot of children, especially young children in your party that you're entertaining or that you're going to, especially for multiple days, sometimes it's helpful to think about a kid-friendly menu. In our household, a lot of times the adults adults like to eat, you know, at their own table, or they like to eat at their own time. The kids sometimes want to eat a little earlier. They want to eat special food. So being able to provide, you know, that special meal that allows the kids to have special things, to get fed when they need to get fed, and then allows the grown-ups to have their grown-up meal, sometimes that can be a really helpful thing too when you have lots of extended family. For the people maybe who don't like cooking or don't want to cook, sometimes they'll offer to do the dishes. Sometimes they'll offer to actually pick up a day's worth of groceries, especially if somebody else is willing to prepare or cook the food. So lots of different ways that you can ask for help or that you can offer to chip in if you are going somewhere else. But of course, it's wise to ask before you pitch in, especially if you are visiting somebody else's house. You just want to make sure that you aren't stepping on any toes and don't make any assumptions about what they may need, but asking what you can bring or how you can help, I think, is a really great way to be a courteous guest. I've mentioned these before, but these are my favorite Walmart brand version of the ice drinks. You know, the flavored ice. It's called Clear American. That's the brand. And then Huckleberry is the flavor. So I picked up 4 of those. Some water flavorings. I'd like to say these are to encourage the kids to drink more water, but I use them just as much. My husband swears up and down that having like filtered water for the coffee makes it better. I don't know. You can chime in below if you are a coffee connoisseur, if you're a coffee expert, if you think filtered water makes all the difference. And then my husband already picked up some beer and wine for the adults, but I picked up this bottle of sparkling cider for the kids to have. Another favorite game watching snack for me is chip dip with sour cream and ranch seasoning and then potato chips. So I got the ingredients to make that so that we can have that one day this week, maybe when we're watching football or just hanging out outside or hanging out in the middle of the day, maybe watching a movie. You guys might think we're kind of odd, but we're not going to do like a traditional turkey dinner for Thanksgiving this year. We do have some company coming at the beginning of the Thanksgiving week. However, for Thanksgiving Day, and the days following, it's just going to be our family. So me and my husband and our 3 children who are 15, 12, and 11. And when we asked them what they wanted to do for Thanksgiving, they said they wanted their dad to grill steaks and for them to get to choose some side dishes and vegetables and desserts that they could help make in the kitchen. Like they want to be in the kitchen and help cook. And I was delighted to hear that. So even though it's not going to be a traditional Thanksgiving dinner, it's still going to be lots of good family time and I'm sure lots of delicious food. There are a few more items I picked up for another little fun family evening, and if you look really closely, you can probably tell what we plan to do with these items, especially if you are a Charlie Brown and the Peanuts gang fan. We are going to, one evening before Thanksgiving, have the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving feast meal, which is toast, pretzels, jelly beans, and popcorn. If you've seen the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special, you know what I'm talking about. And I did get some special pretzels, like the peanut butter filled ones, and I got cheese toast to have, and I'll probably still throw some like cheese cubes and fruits and veggies on the tray to make it a little bit more nutrient dense, but I thought that would be just a fun activity to do with the kids. A lot of people do this. I have never done this before, and my kids have actually asked, even though they're older, they still enjoy this kind of thing. I hope you found something encouraging or helpful with this video, a realistic tip that can help you if you are hosting or if you're going somewhere where you are going to be hosted for the holidays. Make sure you're subscribed if you are not already, or pick out one of these videos to watch next, and I'll see you there.